Hey everyone, I'm your host Brittany Jones Cooper, and welcome back to Build. From Cheers to the Mindy Project, Rhea Perlman has been playing strong, funny women for over 40 years. Now she's starring in the new film Poms as Alice, a retiree who gets to fulfill her lifelong dream of becoming a cheerleader after a major life change. Take a look.
Oh, God, that was fast, wasn't it?
A little too fast, if you ask me.
He confused his meds, I'm sure. And Alice didn't want to kill him.
Well, she always wanted to be a cheerleader.
Oh, come on. The woman was devastated. I'm sure it was the last thing that was on her mind.
See you at practice.
Put your hands together for Rhea Perlman.
You think I killed him?
I think Alice maybe did some little stuff on the fly.
You think I'm that bad? I might have been. I don't know.
I think, she had dreams that she wanted to fulfill, and
Yeah.
who's going to stop her? Nobody.
That's right.
So
That's right.
let's talk about Alice for a second.
Okay.
Who does she play in Poms?
Well, Alice is a woman who obviously has been under her husband's thumb for her entire life, and she just doesn't let her do anything. Doesn't let her do. I mean, she's basically stays home and makes tea, and he plays golf, and that's it. And we live in this retirement community where Diane Keaton moves in and starts a cheerleading squad, and I sign up for tryouts, and he won't let me go. So I don't show up, but they need another person, so they come to my house, and I've once he's gone, I kind of blossom into the person I wanted to be, and I'm not only in the cheerleading squad, but I find a voice. I don't know, you like to say words on this show? Oh, yeah, so I get to say, I get the first time in my life curse. For the first time in my life, I can say bitch, shit, and worse. So unfortunately, the ratings board of the movie, MPAA would not let me say all the things that I said in the movie, so we had to, change them. And because I threw in as much as I could, but most of it didn't make it in. But, you still get the idea.
I was going to ask,
Yeah.
did you take some liberties and add a little Rhea to it and just, go for it?
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. Well, she does. She becomes a different person. Yeah.
I love this film. I watched it last night, and it is so fun. And then there's a moment where I was like, oh, I think I'm going to cry. And I did, but then I also laughed. And it's just, such a fun ride. And part of it is just the cast is so dynamic.
I know. Look at this cast.
Oh, my God.
We got Diane Keaton, the goddess. I would have worked with her. I don't care. I would have swept the floors. I don't care. She's just so amazing. And Jacki Weaver, brilliant actress. And Pam Grier, who come on, Pam Grier, Jackie Brown, and way back, all the great stuff she's done. And then Phyllis Somerville, who's also a New York actress, who's in To Kill a Mockingbird now. Right. And a lot of other women who were more locally hired from Atlanta and North Carolina and New Orleans. And man, they brought so much energy to this because they were so excited. Every minute they were on set, it was the most infectious thing.
Yeah. I was going to say, what was the vibe like on set? Because, the whole thing's kind of building to a big performance, and you guys really had to rehearse and learn these moves.
Yeah, we really did. We had boot camp. So we got the, I got the part. Came to L.A. I was in New York. I happened to be in New York, but I live in L.A. And we had to go to L.A. where we had 4 days of rehearsal of learning this routine. And then we all went to Atlanta, and we had another week of rehearsal before we even shot one bit of footage. And it was like we had this choreographer who's used to choreographing really great dancers. and we're looking at each other do we go this way or that way? And she gave us all tapes of the music and stuff, and we all practiced. I mean, we worked hard because we had to be good at it towards the end and really bad at it. In the beginning, the bad part was a lot harder. A lot easier. I'm sorry. Easier to be bad. But it was really a great feeling and so much energy, and being able to sort of dance, basically. We were dancing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I was surprised by you. There's a kind of scene towards the end where you're not quite twerking, but there's like a little booty shaking.
Yeah. There is a little booty shaking.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I was also really impressed with your guns.
Oh,
So I was looking at this role and I was like, the choreography, I can tell that you guys had to do some rehearsals and that would be draining. But you looked up for the job because there's a scene where you're flexing your muscles and I'm like, Rhea must work out.
I work out.
What do
I
you do?
Well, I've done yoga my whole life. You know, if you do yoga, you know that no matter what you do, there are a lot of push-ups. It's a lot of chaturangas, where you're doing the sun prayer and you got to go down and then you got to like push up, a lot of. So, you get pretty strong arms and you get pretty strong all over. I mean, I love it. I recommend it to everybody. And I do, and then I hike and now I'm working out with weights. So, I'm always doing something workout because it makes me feel alive and great,
Feels
doesn't it?
like really
Yeah.
connected to your body.
I do feel connected to my body and to my mind because when I work out, I'm so much clearer. Everything is clearer and everything is better. Everything, it's like the sun came out.
So let's go back to the beginning. Where did this story come from?
So it's a true story.
Yeah.
Well, not Diane's part. Well, I'll tell you where it came from first. There is still a group of women in a retirement community, or what they call a senior living community, in Arizona called the Sun City Poms, who started this cheerleading squad a number of years ago. Could be as much as 4 years ago now or more. And they are still going strong. And these women are like, they're really good. I mean, they've got some moves. And they actually tour. And they have like a whole life built around this, just from this kind of, whim of a club. And so what happens in the movie is that Diane has left her life in New York. She's gotten a bad diagnosis of something, and she really doesn't want to. She just wants to be done with it. She doesn't want to. She wants everyone to just leave her alone. She's not getting treatment. She wants to just have access to medical care so that she's comfortable, but leave her alone. And then she moves in next door to Jacki Weaver, who is not leaving anybody alone. She is a spitfire. I mean, she is so great in the movie, and she, basically breaks into her house. To like, where the hell are you? I thought you died in here, because she's not telling anybody who she is and where she came from, and they become friends. And Diane always wanted, in her character always wanted to be a cheerleader, and she became one in her senior year of high school, but was not able to do it for some reason. If you see the movie, you'll know. And and there's a mean girl. You know how, like, in high school there are all the dynamics. In senior living communities, certainly are the exact same dynamics. I mean, because I know because my parents were in one for a short time, and there's always like the mean girl, and she's played by Celia Weston, who is fine, and she's just as nice as can be, as long as you do it her way. And so she tells Diane when she moves in, well, you got to join a club. We just have a lot of clubs here. And you know what? If you don't like any of them, just form your own. So when she comes up with this idea of forming this cheerleading club, she's like, she's laughing. She's like, well, who are you going to cheer for? Who are you going to cheer for? And she is, ourselves. So, yeah, and they are enemies for the rest of the time. Yeah.
And you mentioned that always wanting to be a cheerleader part. Did you ever want to be a cheerleader? Is that something you ever did?
I definitely wanted to be a cheerleader.
He does, right?
Yeah. I mean, I went to, a very long time ago, I went to high school in Brooklyn, Lafayette High School, which was torn down a little while ago. And the cheerleaders were the coolest and the prettiest and the most popular girls. And so it was cheerleaders, top of the game. Twirlers, also top of the game. Boosters, like the backup cheerleaders, did not make that. Did not make any of those teams. Didn't even get to try out for the cheerleaders. I tried out for the boosters, and I was so frustrated. My best friend got to be a booster, and so the other option was to sell tickets to the games, which I did because I got a jacket that said Lafayette High School Go-Getters. And that's really what I wanted, was a jacket.
The Go-Getters.
Yes, I was a go-getter. I worked for Mr. Crumbine. Oh, I know. And it was just, ooh, I don't even know what kind of teacher he was, but he had a teeny tiny office about the size of this chair.
His name makes him sound like a villain, though, Crumbine.
Yeah, Crumbine. I know.
So you didn't get to wear the cheerleading uniform back in the day, but you do get to throw one on in this movie. So what was it like getting to put that on for the first time and have the pom-poms?
Oh, my God.
Really get to play that role.
The best part were the pom-poms.
Yeah.
The best part were the pom-poms. I mean, we wear a couple of different cheerleading outfits, and some, it was kind of silly at first, and then like, what are we doing? Oh my God. And then, it was really fun. And we really had to do these cheers in a high school auditorium in front of high school kids from all over Atlanta who were real cheerleaders in the Bring It On style of cheerleading. They were Olympic cheerleaders. They were like, with the flips and throwing people in pyramids and, standing on one leg up on top of a pyramid, that kind of stuff. And we're doing a dance routine, and it's like, oh my God. It was very, it was all, they were all inspiring, and, it was very threatening.
But I loved how they played with those two groups, because there's a scene where she's like, don't break a hip, and she was like, I hope you get pregnant. Like, the two groups playing with each other was really, really funny.
Yeah.
Another thing I love about each woman has like their own personal journey that they're on. And I love that it's showing that even women in their 70s are still growing and evolving and changing and trying new things.
Yeah.
And Alice in particular had been in this long marriage, and she's getting to find herself for the first time. And I know that you're happily separated. So can you relate to that, where you just sort of get to be Rhea and find what Rhea likes?
It's very interesting. I'm not going to say that I like getting older better than I liked staying younger, but I'm going to say that, age is just a thing I don't think about till somebody says something to me about it. I don't think about it. I just feel, strong, healthy, and vibrant and interested in everything, except maybe tweeting. I'm not good at that. I tried, okay? I got the Instagram account. You're going to get a lot of jobs if you get the Instagram account. Okay, I got the account, but I don't know, can't do it. So anyways, I read other people's, though. It's fun.
That's what it's for.
Fun. Yeah.
Otherwise, it's a black hole that takes all your time.
Yeah. And so, I just think you just never know what's around the corner. You never know what's going to come next in your life, from day to day, no matter how young or old you are. And as long as you stay open, which I try to do, just stay open and positive. And when you're not, when you're feeling bad, know that that's a thing that's going to pass. And then, the next day is a new day. Yeah, everything changes.
What is the last new thing you tried or that challenged you that you took on?
I mean, besides cheerleading? Yeah. Ooh. Well, I didn't do any bungee jump. I guess the weight thing, like this particular kind of lifting. Yeah. That. But I'm not doing weight, dead weight lifting and stuff like that. But I'm really trying to get more muscle. Yeah. I like workout, but I don't play tennis or golf or any of that.
On that note, I said before, you played all these really strong women, from Carla to Annette and Mindy. Is there a role that you haven't gotten to play that you would really want to?
Lady Macbeth? I don't know. I don't really think of that. Because every role is interesting once it's yours. Yeah. Because every role it's a real person that you're playing or becomes real. And that's the challenge, is to find, who is this person? And I like the discovery. I'm kind of like investigating things. I love researching. I like doing that. And so, like, just, finding a new character. It's like just watching people. I like people watching, and everybody in New York is just so interesting to me, and listening to conversations, because I'm a bad eavesdropper, but we all are, I think, in New York, because you go to restaurants and you hear a lot of stuff, you see a lot of stuff. People are talking so loud on their phones just walking down the street, I don't know. So I don't know if there's one particular role. You know what I kind of like to play? I really dig science these days, really dig physics. That black hole thing blew my mind, which I'm still trying to truly understand. I understand it for 5 minutes, and then I don't, and I have to go back and re-understand it. But still, I'd love to play someone like, a scientist, like, or someone who discovers something, or someone who's knows how to work the damn rocket.
I love that. I'm a huge science nerd as well.
Are
and
you?
I'm with you. You understand it for like a minute, and then you think about it too hard, and it's gone.
Yeah,
It just
because
disappears.
it's so mind-boggling, and so much of it is based on math and concepts that, my son is like really into it, and even though he's basically a producer, but he's, and I call him all the time. Jake, did you listen to this podcast on Science Friday about the, whatever? And he'll go, oh yeah, and then he'll rattle off and like, look at this YouTube and look at this, and I'm like, oh, thanks, man. I'm like so into it.
Have you ever worked with your son on any projects?
Not yet.
Not yet?
Not yet. Still to come. Still to come. I've worked with my daughter, my oldest daughter, Lucy, who's an actress, and we did a play here called Love, Loss, and What I Wore. Then we've worked on a couple of short films together like that. And we're going to do a little play together in L.A., like a one-act this in June. And, yeah, my other daughter's a painter, so I just watch her.
Is theater something that's really fun for you to play in that space now? So it seems like that's something you're doing more of.
I did it last year again. Yeah, it is. I mean, it's all fun. It's all fun and challenging. I like both. But I gotta say, I love TV. I like it the best because, especially a series, because of the evolution of the character. It's not like you read a script and you know the beginning, middle, and end. You know the beginning. And you don't know where it's going. You don't know who you're related to, who's going to appear. You don't know what's in store for you down the line. It's like it evolves, and you go with it. And so it's a really fabulous format. And, well, television now is amazing. Mm-hmm.
On that note, Carla was such a dynamic character, and we got to see her do so many things. Have you ever thought about where she'd be today?
She's still in that bar, I tell you that. She's going to be the gray-haired lady, still serving and like telling everybody to shut the fuck up. Get your own goddamn beer, I am tired. I'm putting my foot up on this stool. You go get it.
I'll go to that bar any day if Carla's there. We do have a couple of questions from the audience before we get out of here. Who do we have first? Here.
I grew up watching you on Cheers, so I really enjoyed you over all the years. And I'm so glad, Brittany, you didn't ask my question. You've played so many characters over the years and done a lot of voiceovers. Is there a favorite that you have, or maybe a top few?
Well, the top two are Carla, and, well, I guess three, but the top two are Carla and Matilda, Mrs. Wormwood. I just had a ball. I loved playing.
My kids love that movie.
Mrs. Wormwood. Yeah.
I grew up watching that movie on repeat.
Yeah. Yeah. And it amazes me because even though, like, I don't feel like I look a lot like I did back then, and I even had blonde hair in the movie, a lot of young kids recognize me. They'll be with their moms. They'll go, Mom, Matilda, you know, and it's just so cool because, you know, it lasts forever because there's always new kids.
And the movie was so special because it really transported you to this different world.
Yes.
And the chemistry of you and Danny and I mean, everything was just such a perfect storm.
Yeah.
That it's a fun. I've even watched that like a year ago, and I was like, I'm still enjoying this as an adult.
Yeah.
So
yeah.
it lasts.
Thanks.
And one more.
Hello.
Hi.
I was wondering, since you were on a sitcom and you're doing movies, do you have a preference as to which type of art medium you would like to be in?
Well, like I said, I do love both. I like everything, but I like the TV format. I like the not knowing what's coming next.
Do you plan on going back to that?
Oh, yeah. Well, you know, I don't feel like I ever left it. I just you don't have a job in it right now. You know? Yeah, absolutely.
Thank you.
Thanks.
And one more question from Twitter. Boku Towa 1 wants to know, how has this film changed you as a person?
You know, I guess because of having done it and having a lot of people ask about it, doing a lot of press, and just thinking about it then, it's made me think a little more about the vibrancy of old age or getting older. I don't want to call it that. I just did. Shut up. Okay. But, you know, I feel like, you know, women in general, because we have our girlfriends, no matter what, you know, girlfriends, I know most women I know anyways, girlfriends get us through, you know. I do know some women who only have guy friends, and that's fine too, but, you know, whatever it is. And, you know, I feel like older people are getting younger and younger, and we're, as long as you're healthy and strong, you know, it's made me think a lot more about the possibilities of what you can do. Yeah, and it's in a good way. So,
For me watching as well, all the women had different family dynamics. Several
Yeah.
of them didn't have children. And I loved exploring what happens later in life for a woman who has made her own decisions and is living independently. And I thought that was a really beautiful story to tell and something we don't see very often.
yeah, that's true. I never thought of it that way, but it's totally true. You know, Diane's character. Well, I never had children, but that's probably because my husband didn't want any. He
wanted to golf.
Alice only did what her husband. I don't know if he ever wanted sex either, but I wanted it afterwards. You know, I knew that.
I saw her at the bowling alley. I was like, you go, Alice. You go, girl. Well, like I said, this movie was such a ride from beginning to end. It's so funny and heartfelt, and I know audiences are really going to love all of it, especially you as Alice.
Thank
so
you.
if you guys want to check it out, Poms hits theaters on May 10th. Please put your hands together for Rhea Perlman.